How good's a close-up in footy? They really doing Nas dirty here. Obviously, the size of Galvin's head there compared to Nas's. These are the interesting, strange things that we think of when we open up team lists each and every week. We're here for round 7, and I imagine this means that the great man Galvin is back along with Teddy and Nas. So let's get into it. Straight off the bat here, I haven't seen them yet. And Tedesco has been named. That's good news for him. Manu back to the centres. We see Crichton and Nat Butcher on the edge, I should say. Egan Butcher on the interchange this week. Zach Docker-Clay still in the same position. Connor Watson paired with Keary. So no Sam Walker here. He's on the reserve. So I wonder what that means. Maybe he's had a little bit of trouble getting back from his concussion from last week as well. As I was just looking over the teams there, I do see a Joe Chan on the interchange bench. So that's an interesting one for sure for any owners of him. Supercoach wise, so this will be his 3rd game, which means price rises, even if it is a lower score. I wonder what that means for Shawnee Blore getting 80 minutes. Hey, that's the question. And Bellamy, when asked in the post-game presser, they did say, was there any plans to, they asked about Sean Blore, and I said, we were planning on taking him off in the back end of the game, and kind of he was going pretty good, and like he looked like he was doing all right out there, so we stuck him out there, and he obviously got that try following that. But Joey on the interchange. Well, you've got Alec McDonald, Chan, Welch there. The other thought here is that with Tui Kamikamica being out, that they'll just play Joe Chan through the middle, which I actually don't mind at all. So I still think there's a very high chance that Blory plays the 80, and because Tui's out, that Joe Chan just comes in and replaces him straight off the bat and is just another middle forward, because they've got Nelson back starting this week as well. Who else is out? Mara and Tui there. So Joey Chan comes back on for that. With Nelson coming back into the to the middle forward rotation, I doubt he's going to get massive minutes. So expect sort of him and Christian Welch to sort of split those minutes. Liero to lose 15 or so, with either Josh King going to 13 or one of these other boys playing a little bit of 13 there, and some minutes to be there for Joey, maybe the 20 to 30 kind of mark there for Chanboy. So anyone who's still owning him, this might not be the week they actually need another number, but a little bit of a price rise will help for anyone who's still owning Mr. Chan. Good stuff on that front. All right, so that's pretty much all we need to know from the Roosters and the Storm standpoint. I suppose Manu obviously at centre. Do you still want to look to grab him in your side? I'm not sure if that's the if that's the play now that he's gone up a lot in cash, or you do wait a little bit longer until the buy period actually comes along, because I think last week was the week to do it and to grab him there, which is pretty cool. But what's it at 6? So he could be the late switch, obviously, for Walker, but wait for that over the next next 24 hours or so. We'll find that out at latest 6:50 on Thursday night if Sam Walker's going to come in and play. I don't think it changes too much. It probably means that if he was to come back in, Watson moves back to 14, and we see Brandon Smith probably a few less minutes than what he got last week, given there was a high 60s, mid to high 60s game for him there, and worked out really well. But let's hope for a Grant really good score as well. All right, let's move to the Dragons up against the Loirs, and what we see here is Lomax in the centres this week with Moses Sully. Okay. Ravalawa and Christian Tuipulotu comes in. So Lomax has wanted to play centre for a while, and the fact that Bird goes down puts Lomax back to centre. I'm not actually sure if that's an incredible thing for his scoring. He's been one of the best players in the game at the moment, and that's with him being in the on the wing. So with Bird going out, we see Lomax go back for this game, and they've got Tuipulotu, who is a winger, I suppose. So probably the best opportunity to get him a game there is move Lomax back to centre where he prefers to play. When we're looking in the forwards, who are we missing? We're still missing Luciano Leilua. So we do see Jaden Sewer start with Raymond, which was what we saw on the weekend with Tom Eisenhuth in the starting 13 role. He did have to move to the centres last game there as well. So we see Marshke, Blake Laurie, Jack DeBellin, Ben Manock-Masila. So nothing changes too much on their benches front. And no one really clearly a buy at all. Most of those guys have made their money. Lomax should score well in the centres, but he's going to get a couple less runs in my opinion. He's been running so many times a game that how many less I think he's going to get his hand on the ball almost just as many times, but a few less, right? Somewhere in the 20 mark still. It's going to feel like, oh, what? Jamie said he was going to go lower, but yeah, he's running the ball like 25 times. So down to 20 will be a drop for the Waz. Chance, he's the guy that was on people's lips last week, and I hope you still went for him. If you didn't, he's still at a reasonable price to go for. If he continues to run, get those run meters like that, then he could be anything, obviously, there. On the interchange bench, you actually see Adam Pompey for now. So with Jazz Tavanga out, they're playing Chanel as a utility along with Adam Pompey. So I wonder if that's actually how it would line up. But if you're looking at the reserves, like who would actually come on and play in that type of role? Like, do we see Ali come in? Do we see Zion, who we saw in the preseason as well? Zion, what a name. Or does Pompey just come and play a little bit of a middle role? That means some serious minutes for Tohu Harris. My goodness. And Adam Fanua-Blake, this is a cracking interchange for as well. If you're looking at any of those two guys, Mitch Barnett should play big minutes as well. Tohu, very close to 80, you'd imagine, for him. Maybe a 5-minute or so rest and get him back out there. Even Jacob Laban comes, a little bit more responsibility for him as well. Potentially some minutes there for anyone who did grab him in that one. For the Dragons there, Harm Saleh still starting like he was last week. Alrighty. For the Eels, we see very much the same setup. Blaze and Luca Moretti. Yeah, wow, okay. Who's out of this team then? That's a good question. Blaze comes on for Madison, Offengawe. Kelma drops to the bench. Yeah, it must be. Mike Acevo still maintains his spot on the reserves. Bailey Simonson looks like he's all okay. Penasini, Harper, Russell, Assey, Brown, Lustig all good on that front. Cartwright's still there. So yeah, the only change there is Blaze comes on to the interchange as their 14 basically. Their I keep going to say dual guy as their utility, and we lose Kelma. So that would really show that Lane and Cartwright are going to be good to go for 80 minutes. And Hopgood, you'd imagine some decent minutes as well, but they'll likely have to play Ryan Madison a few extra, won't they? Considering the situation that they've got themselves into right now. With obviously dropping Kelma, I think that they're going to have to play Maddo a few more. I don't know why they didn't last week, but that's that. This spells good news for Lustig as well. I doubt that anyone covers him for any minutes, but he was good last week and shouldn't be dropped, that's for sure. Let's move to the Dolphins because a few things have changed there. We still don't see Connolly Lamuelu in this side or anywhere close to this side in the reserve. So my general thoughts and physio kind of saying that he didn't think it was going to be anytime soon with Lem has come true, and anyone who jumped on Aiken 3 weeks ago, you're absolutely flying. Trey Fuller's the big name in the outside backs here. Cody Nikarima looks like he'll be fine after his calf complaint there. So Trey Fuller has some really, really cool stats, and I don't in Q Cup, I don't believe they've added him in yet to the game, if we're being honest. I'll wait till that loads, but he got one game for 52 in 47 minutes last year, and I doubt that they bring him into the game. He's not in there yet. I doubt they bring him into the game at absolute bottom dollar there. That's for sure. Don't know why it's not loading for me, but we'll get there eventually. Isaiah Katoa doing good things. Bostock, you're holding up for another week. Max Plath returns to this side, and he obviously becomes fairly important here with the there's another couple of outside backs that have dropped out, but on the interchange there, Sean O'Sullivan, okay, is the dual man, is the Anthony Milford, the utility from last week. Still don't know why Milf was picked over Sean O'Sullivan. The coach wasn't happy with his efforts in round one, or maybe in the preseason anyway, or they were just giving him some time with the birth of his wife's birth of his baby, their baby, I should say. Strange one, but he's back on the interchange bench. I think Plath still gets good minutes here. Ray Stone straight to the interchange with Wallace and Kerr. They'll have to split a good chunk of minutes there with Bromwich and Nichols in the starting pack. Outside of Trey Fuller, we'll find out a little bit more info on him. They haven't got him in yet. $2,696,000. How good's that? Since the game's open, there's already a bunch of people that are on the who's hot, who's not list with Crichton, with Iro, with Nickel Klukstad. For some reason that's broken, so we'll leave that one for now. Where is that Sharkies team list? I'm keen to look at that. All right, so all that news about Taylor May being out was incorrect, and we do see Scott Sorensen returning. So good on him. Good news for that. Hopefully they use the left hand side this week, eh? That's for sure. Isaiah Yeo is there. Liam Henry, Garner on the interchange. Will take some minutes off. Scotty, for sure. Dane Laurie at 14, Lindsay Smith. So it's just Lindsay Smith and Henry, with Garner going to take a few minutes off Sorensen there for sure. So I do see some good minutes for Liam Henry again. And we do see Jerome Luai has been named with Brad Schneider, obviously with Cleary, finding out Cleary that he's not close. He definitely hasn't been named on the 22. So yeah, that's fair mail out of that one. That one was true. Remember just to listen to the correct guys. Peter Lang, I believe, is that the guy? I'll check on my phone. With the correct info, and Mix Rugby League, Mix RL, a little bit on and off with his mail being correct or incorrect in those type of games. There was it, yeah, Peter Lang. So Peter Lang, if you ever see him tweet, it's good mail because he's in with the team, and outside of that, just be a little bit suspicious. We saw it with Strange, we saw it with Taylor May, so try not to make too many changes until we see correct information, and we've seen that from anytime Cleary has been spoken about, it's been the correct stuff. So yeah, Taylor May, yeah, I'm holding now. I was going to get Blore in, but now I think we're going to have to hold. We'll see what happens with the rest of the squad. But for the Tigers, we see Galvin return. Great news. I'll be playing him. Defensively, he's been great. Attack, he's kind of holding this team together. We do see Latu Fainu on the interchange bench, so good to see him back in full flight, along with Samuela Fainu, with Alex Seyfarth and Alex Twal. They're the two big dogs in the middle. After Seyfarth playing on the edge last week, we do see Bateman returning. He had a concussion, so he's good to go and named, which is nice. Stefano doing really good stuff. It's hard to buy Stefano now, but another bit more expensive and priced pretty much exactly where I think he'll be scoring from here. Tigers, as I said, not many buys in that team. Titans, Phil Sami goes into the 1 position. There you go. Weren't sure what we are going to expect with that. So AJ Brimson sticks in the 6 role. I thought he might end up in the 1 role, but it wasn't to be. Harley Smith-Shields in the centres there with Jojo Fafita on one wing, Khan Pereira on the other. And Mo Fodawaker starting with Jolliffe. Fafita now starting with Furmore. They're just naming Cleese straight at 13 this week and not changing it last minute. So good on them for that. Tanner Boyd's still in the reserve, so there's a chance that he ends up playing, with Campbell out for 4 weeks with a PCL injury, guys. So not good on that front, that is for sure. And it's probably all we need to say on the Titans there. No one is a clear buy in this side. We have Jolliffe doing good things, David Fafita getting closer to a purchase, Bo Fermor a solid buy without being a sort of slam dunk home run. So that's it. Move to the Eagles there. Back 7 looks the same, except for Garrick obviously returning there. And we do lose Ben Trbojevic obviously injured. Toffa Sipley as well, with Josh Aloye out of this one. I believe Sipley had a injury. Where was it? Little knee injury. Sounds like it wasn't too bad. Not sure on that one. But he's out of this clash. For the other forwards, Matt Lodge returns, which is pretty cool for him. Corey Waddell is the guy that we do want to be having a look at this week at 425k, mid and edge dual with the interchange that they've got there. It's Lawton, Bullimore, Woods, and Nathan Brown back there. So obviously with Lodgy back, I don't know how many minutes they're going to get out of him straight up, but still a good position to be in to get Lodgy back. He those few games before he got injured last year, he looked really great. He was their best forward, so hopefully he can return to some of that kind of form over the next few weeks. But we know with ACLs that it does take some time to get back to good health. I do expect Corey Waddell to play close to that 80 minutes, guys. We do have Ethan Bullimore that could play edge, but he's been in this team playing through the middle. I wouldn't expect him to be a guy that does shift out there for any reason. Lawton could as well, but Waddell played that full 80 last week and big minutes the week before and didn't have a problem at all with it. So I definitely think he's a good buy, averaging a tick over 40 when he plays over 60 minutes on the edge, which is great. Broncos up against the Raiders. So for the Broncos there, Oates keeps his spot, so they've probably gotten him on the extended. No, Jordan Pereira on the extended there. Do we see Payne Haas? We do not see Payne Haas at all. Okay, very interesting. Xavier Willison, I think he's a solid buy this week. It's a little bit 1 week late. I was looking at him last week, but I still think that he's going to be a very formidable player in this side. They've named pretty much the same team with Tristan Saylor Smoothie on that interchange as well. So it means good minutes for Kobe and Willison off the bench as well, so don't worry about that. Still no sign of our boy Piakura either, so good times for him. He might not even be close either, so it's a fun world. That's for sure. What do we got here? What do we have here? Nothing else from there. Jock Madden, obviously no Adam Reynolds yet either. Jensen with Walters. Yeah, that's about all on the Broncos side. For the Raiders, the Durs, Chevy Stewart at fullback there. We've got Xavier Savage. Ethan Strange, Fogs, no problems there. Adam Mariota, what we thought would probably happen. Looks like Simi Sasangi might come on and take some minutes from Atta. There is a bit of a worry for the great man. Can't remember his name now. Hosking, unfortunately, with his shoulder, if he ends up picking surgery, it's very close to the end of the season for him. Atta, you could definitely make some money on him over the next few weeks. It's not a clear must-have buy. If you don't have many Raiders at all, like if you have one or two, then I definitely think you can make some money off him, get some decent scores, maybe sort of 60 minutes and anywhere from 30s to 40s with him. 30s to 40, I should say, with him. But outside of that, same hooking position with Danny Levi and Starling. Smithies, expect big minutes again with Salo, Mooney, and Simi Sasangi, who's going to take some minutes off Atta. So Morgan, expect close to 80 each and every week, and just good scores. To be honest with you, probably like 50, but yeah, there keeps being injuries at the moment, so it's hard to work out what exactly is happening with him. All right, Drew Hutchison continues to be named, so good news on that front. Sam Hughes in the starting team again. Who's out? Maxi King. Oh, yeah, he got named. He was in there before. Where's Maxi King? Oh, Maxi King's on reserve, sorry. Which is good. Jake Turpin. Jake Turpin is in the 21. Okay. So he's got dropped out of this, which means Blake Taff in the 17 jersey. What have they done here? Oh, Connor Tracy stays. Okay. Bronson Sherry, his stocks go up a lot more, given he's managed to keep his spot, which is great news for anyone looking at Bronson. We've obviously got Karaz sitting on that wing again, but that worked out last week well. He got into plenty of good work. They've still got Hutchison there. He hasn't been dropped yet, but is he going to get dropped out of our sides before he gets dropped out of that team there? That's the big question you got to ask. And Hughes, is he actually going to start, or is Farmasili going to start like they did last week with that one there? Yeah, it's all things to think of. Salmon, just play him again. Same with Josh Curran in the 13 role. Does he actually start again, or do they bring in Turpin like last time? We'll find out. We will find out. Greg Marzu, will he end up on that left side? That's a good question. Saifidi, Leah Thompson, Kaipis Paul still there, which is good. Dylan Lucas as well. There's no signs of Tyson Frizzell. We have Tyson Gamble, no Tyson Frizzell. So there you go. At least another week, maybe two, depending how things go with Frizzell. Over the next couple, but Ponga being named is great. We thought, knew that would be the case. It's just how hampered is he, but I think he can go nuts for sure against these dogs. It's going to be tough to come back after that. How much effort they put in against the Storm to still go down, but they'll be fighting for a win here, and I think there'll be a close game, that's for sure. The Sharkies, KL Iro has been named. Sifa Talakai still on the interchange bench, so that's cracking news for anyone who started with KL last week, who grabbed him last week or started the year with him. That's incredible. We have Siona Katoa out. What happened to him in the end? I can't remember. 1 max suspension. Oh, yeah. Okay, cool. 1 max suspension. So don't worry about Stone Street, but we're excited to see him play. KL ends up keeping his spot, as we said, which is good news. Nikora, Wilton, and McInnes in their starting pack, which is good. Rudolph, Talakai, Braden Hamlioli, and Jack Williams. So do expect potentially a couple less minutes if this is the exact interchange bench that they roll out with, because all of these guys are minimum 20-minute, 30-minute, 40-minute type of guys. If you're looking at Talakai, it's probably 20 on this bench, but 30 to 50 from Williams, Rudolph, and then Hamlin-Ueli probably around that 30 mark. With McInnes, you'd say sits in the 55 to 60 minutes and potentially points category as well. So yeah, KL ends up in all of our squads, I imagine, that's for sure. So good stuff there. If you went early on him, happy days, 50k and a 40 in there in your kitty. Beautiful. Cowboys, Drinkwater Holmes. We have Chester still. So we'll see, guys, if you're looking at dual position, I wonder if Chester will get the centre dual, considering it looks like it'll be his spot going forward. He just has the wing fullback right now, and I know there's a few people that are definitely interested in him getting that centre dual. But Semi Valabine returns here as well. So Kyle Felt, we lose Murray Talangi. What happened there? Semi Valabine came into wing from hamstring. That's right. Okay, there you go. Makes his 100th game for the Cowboys after celebrating his 100th NRL game last week. That's pretty cool. Did he play one game for? Suddenly played one game for Storm. That's impressive. That's cool. What do we got? No one on the reserves of notes. Granville, Neem, McIntyre, Jack Kasevsky, Robson, Finifriaki's still there with Nanai. Looks like he's fine. Don't know why they pulled him off in the end. Maybe just a bit of a niggle. It doesn't say anything about it either. So there you go. Cotter's good. Keep holding on to him. Robson, same deal. No one else is a clear buy. Like Chester, you could definitely have a look at. We'll speak about him further in tomorrow's buy, hold, risk it, sell. And I think that's it. There you go. Team list for round 7. Nothing too crazy. We just have a few guys that were named, like Blaze Talangi. We had Joe Chan, guys that are on the fringes. This is what can happen with those guys. They definitely have opportunities to, if they're right on the fringe, the 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st man on a week-to-week basis, injuries will happen, chances will pop up, and Joe Chances will get his opportunity to play off the bench for the middle, in my opinion, this week. And get cranking, get going through your team and find out what you're going to do and send through in the comments there. Guys, just a little heads up. If you're asking me in my YouTube comments, thoughts on your trades, your upcoming trades and the like before Team List Tuesday, I'm not going to reply to them. I'm sorry. So much changes in that time, and it does a bit of a disservice because you've probably already changed your mind by that point. The amount of people that message me one-on-one, and then if I haven't got back to them in a few hours, they've changed their mind and they've deleted it, or I make a comment on what they said and they're like, oh, sorry, I already changed it. These are the trades I'm doing now. I'm like, okay, well, that was a little bit of a waste. So yes, just wait at least till after TLT. You've had a good think about it, and then send me your questions is the best way to do it, rather than just splurting it out on the page, because there's obviously a lot to read as well. So thank you so much for being considerate with that. You're all legends, and good luck with your trades this week. We'll get into all those questions and answers, the videos and the like for the next couple of days. See you, team.